Time now to get into the newspapers and find out what is making the news. And joining me to do this is the head of news here at Channel One TV and on 97.3 City FM, Vivian Kai Loco. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Bright like the sun.
Just like you. I love your blue.
Ooh.
You know I love blue.
Yeah.
Blue, brown, black, yellow, and the green.
But you look stunning. I see what's going on here.
You.
The earrings and the dress and all.
Man.
Yeah. Anyways, it's good to have you. Let's get straight into the dailies.
Okay, so I'll start with a daily graphic, and the front page says, at Graphic Business Stanbic Bank breakfast meeting, remittances fetched $28 billion in 10 years. Experts call for measures to leverage inflow. Also, the NMC chairman is saying listing Graphic on stock market better option. And then some good news, cabinet approves gifted talented education. And then finally the president has been speaking and he's been lauding the trade unions for industrial harmony. And you, Nana, remember the DRIP initiative?
Yes.
Well,
yes.
we are told Upper West takes delivery of the DRIP equipment. And then yesterday we started a story about the spillage of the Bagre Dam.
Yes.
Well, the graphic reports this. They say NADMO triggers emergency response strategy for Bagre and Kompienga Dam spillage.
Right. We have had that story as well. It was on Channel One newsroom where NADMO is on red alert. You can get more details on our website, channel1news.com, and of course on citynewsroom.com. Let me take you to the Daily Guide newspaper, and major story says Cabinet approves Gate education policy. Government will not jeopardize workers' future. Nana tells TUC. 22-year-old Ghanaian kills parents in the UK. That's a rather sad one.
Very sad one. He
one.
actually stabbed all his family members.
Exactly.
His mother, his father, who we are told is a church elder, and then the sister, over some family feud. I mean, what will push you to want to kill everybody in your family? You know,
it's quite worrying and it's disturbing. But we hope the police in Manchester are doing all it takes to bring some justice.
And let's pray for the father and the sister, hoping that they survive the stab wounds.
Exactly. Anyway, there's a final one here that says FDA protecting public interest, not targeting businesses. That's on the front page of the Daily Guide newspaper. Okay,
I will take you to the Chronicle. They also have the DRIP initiative. They say it's landed in the Western, Volta, and Upper West regions. And they also have the story on SSNIT and President Akufo-Addo, where they say President Akufo-Addo commends SSNIT for 230 million Ghana cedi surplus. And of course, officially stamped, government approves gifted and talented education policy for students.
Okay, it looks like that story and that of the DRIP is running through all the papers this morning. Ghanaian Times has this as well. It says government receives applause for DRIP initiative as regions receive equipment for road improvement. Cabinet approves gifted and talented education policy. Ghana's population to hit 53 million by 2050. Population experts predict. Okay. And nationwide voter exhibition takes off, records low turnout on day one. Well, I don't want to say it was expected, but it looks like we are not whipping up enough enthusiasm about exercises such as the voter exhibition. Perhaps we need to do more education on this and the need to go check your details, verify that indeed it is your name spelled correctly, your polling station, the polling station code, everything is correct, matching what is on the card and what is in the register. Because if not, on the 7th, you'll be turned away.
Unless you don't want to vote.
Of course.
But you know they did this number that you can text, you know, hash something. When you do it, doesn't work. We need to follow up. I did mine last week or so to check. It's not working. Yesterday,
Commission, please, we beg you.
Somebody was saying the same thing. So I don't know.
Because, I mean, with all this talk about digitalization and all that, I don't think it's everyone that wants to go and queue to check. So if there's that option, I think they really need to have it up and running so that it's easier for people to verify their details in the register.
And they should go around as well with the information vans. These days, we don't hear most of the institutions do that, obviously because of development and other options they can explore like social media. But we should see stuff on social media, pushing it, the information vans moving around for those who are home during the day. Anyway, let me take you to the new finder. Minister warns contractors against delays in secondary city support projects execution. Also, guard against job losses to technological advancement. President to TUC. You know, this TUC and president relationship, TUC, you know, Mayday, they will say, you know,
no fire.
Fire. But I think yesterday they were cool, you know. There was a president who was rather fiery.
Yeah. The Ghanaian publisher this morning says SSNIT pays 3.2 billion cedis to contributors, launches mobile service week. Local government minister demands timely completion of projects. IWMI warns of severe drought in Ghana, and regional ministers laud drip. And then there's an interesting one on the top right-hand corner of the paper. It says drama in court over stolen goods.
Hey, stolen goods. You have to give us details of that one.
I'll
It sounds
give you details
interesting.
later.
Okay, let me take you to the Republic Press. They also have Akufo-Addo on the front page. They say Akufo-Addo shrugs off SSNIT storm, describes controversy over hotel sale as needless and unnecessary. Then the story that started developing yesterday, the GBC and the Sports Ministry back and forth. GBC Sports Minister at odds, embroiled in $3.6 million payment dispute. Also on the front page of the Republic Press, police rubbish militia training in Kwewu. And then NDC chairman refuses to commit to peace pact, outlines 6 conditions. So that's coming from the Republic Press.
All right, I'll take you to the new publisher. The majority leader is pictured here, Alexander Penyo-Markin, and he says NPP needs majority in parliament. I'm sure it's from the call he made during the launch of the party's manifesto. Foreign Minister reassigns Kwesi Asante as Director of Passports. NPP manifesto launch not a concert activity. Oponkroma replies Asiedu Nketia. And this is quite a disturbing story. And I actually have a problem with the headline itself. Is that 6 men gala, in quotes, rape pregnant woman in presence of her husband. You see, sometimes those of us in the media, a story as disturbing as this, we should not be seen to trivialize the issue. What is gala and all that?
It's street talk.
Exactly.
You said that street talks, you brought it to
into mainstream media. I mean, we shouldn't be playing
gala
around like this. A pregnant woman has been raped in the presence of her husband, and you want to downplay the issue by trivializing it with such a headline. It's quite disturbing. We shouldn't be seen to be doing some of these things. Anyways, that's it for the new publisher. Okay,
I'll take you to the Herald. It also has a story on the sports minister and GBC. They say sports minister fumbling on GBC's $3.495 million as GBC Director General screams we received $105K for African Games, not $3.6 million. Now, ECOWAS mission predicts violence at Ghana's 2024 polls, cites tension, mistrust, misinformation, insightful language. This is a red flag. ECOWAS mission and predicting there'll be violence for our elections. And then murder of 8 at 2020 polls surfaces in NDC's condition to Peace Council. And McDonald's Electrochem accused of misusing soldiers to seize private lands. Now, this sports ministry thing, there's an update to it. You know, the sports minister's aide, you know, was on Eyewitness yesterday explaining that, I mean, part of the money went to people that
exactly
the GBC
third parties
outsourced,
contracted by the GBC.
So, but we want to see that
should be a proper
everything.
breakdown. I keep saying that if everything is detailed, there's a record, we're able to trace the money. We'll all go to sleep and not worry our heads about who was paid what or for what. I mean,
so they should release the detailed thing, then we'll see who is lying.
Let's know who the contractors are, how much they were paid. And you know the MP for Ningo Pampram, Sam George, I mean, it's actually his question that brought all of this to the fore. And he's also made some allegation that local contractors or local technicians at the GBC received 100 Ghana
100
cedis.
cedis.
While the experts were being given 1,000 Ghana cedis.
But it's something we do a lot here.
Yes.
If you look at the pay disparity between, of course, we know that expert rates, because they are coming in, they bring in families, it's not their terrain, their cost will be higher in terms of expenditure and all that. The disparity between locals and expert rates is too much.
It's too much.
100 cedis, why? And we're told some of the cameramen fainted, you know, during the games. Nothing.
A whole week you're standing on your feet filming
With 100
in the
cedis.
heat and all.
How much
100
would
Ghana
you
cedis.
use to buy wachi? With this, you know, food vendors, now they hike the prices
they'll be
like...
selling the shito and all.
Oh, I hear some places
Some
you
places
buy,
actually
you
you
pay
have to
for
buy the
shito
shito.
and you pay for stew. Contomere stew is not free anymore.
Oh, God. The Custodian newspaper says regions hail Akufo-Addo's drip initiative. SSNIT making huge gains. That's according to the president. There's another SSNIT story that says SSNIT unveils transformative digital platforms. Fast-track GSCSP projects. Local government minister tells MMDAs. And Jefferson starts massive campaign in Ablekuma Central. Drills 5 mechanized boreholes in 1 week. Hey, Jefferson.
But why did you wait till election before you
Exactly.
started drilling?
Exactly.
They should stop these things. Do your work and make it easy for yourself.
Anyway.
Okay, the Inquisitor, renowned broadcaster Godwin Avenobo is dead. Pretty
quite
sad
sad.
one, yeah.
Yeah, the Grandmaster.
Grandmaster. Our condolences to Chester
family.
and Jerry. You know Jerry? That's Jerry's dad.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Jerry, he was at the March program we have. What's the name of that?
The Heritage Caravan.
No, the one we do at the AMA forecourt.
Oh, the food bazaar.
Yeah, the
Back to your
food.
village
Yeah,
food bazaar.
he's into
The food
cocktails
festival.
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was there. So our condolences to him, and then his little brother Chester over the death of their dad. Okay. So apart from that, they say Dr. Bawumia Napo ticket represents our roots. Marching Kosa speaking, and Greater Accra NPP chairman hot over attacks on Electrochem and Magda.
The Informer says, I'll serve you better, Bawumia tells Ghanaian youth. Duncan Williams drops CPP, says he'll vote wisely this time round. Voter exhibition exercise, use due process, shun violence, IGP urges parties. Towards improved road infrastructure, Western gets over 100 drip equipment. And 2023 African Games, GBC received only 105,000 US dollars. That's the Director General speaking. And looks like there's an investigative piece that the Informer will be doing. It says special coming up. NSS and the case of 120 million cedis Kumewu Farm Chop. Stay tuned. Okay.
We are tuned in.
We are tuned in. We are waiting for the details.
VNFT says SSNIT pays 3.2 billion Ghana cedis in benefits during 2024 half year. It also has a story of the DRIP initiative. They say Western region to get 110 road improvement equipment under DRIP, and Upper West region faces severe dry spell.
ABC News says forensic audit of Bust saved Ghana $28 million. That's Edwin Provençal, that's the chief executive officer of Bust. Bust is now BEST, Bulk Energy Storage and Transportation.
Okay.
Yeah.
So officially they've,
Yes.
you know, because sometimes they wait for approval from higher authorities and all that. Because Ghana Water too has changed
Yes,
the name.
I think it's now GWL
Yeah.
and the C is gone.
Yes. So, and I know at the point we're waiting for approval, so they should get the approval, then we can change
But for
it.
Boss, I think at their AGM, I think about a month ago, they
They
advertised
advertise as best. Okay, so we'll
Yes,
go with
yeah,
best then.
Akufo-Addo's records on economic growth better than Mahama. This is according to the IPG. And MPP manifesto good, but they can't implement it like NDC, says Professor Nana Opoku-Agyeman. That's it for the ABC News.
Okay, let me bring you my final paper, the Daily Analyst. Our very good friend, Bernard Mona, he's saying he'll be president. So I will be the next president of Ghana, Bernard Mona. So we wish him well. you know, and break the
Kube people.
break the two parties running the system.
Yeah.
And then also $3 million African Games coverage. We only received $105,000. GBC boss clarifies. Also controversy over sale of SSNIT hotels unnecessary. Akufo-Addo speaking. And then they also have the story of Godwin Avenogbo left behind cherished memories, family speaking. And then I'm seeing this story. Kolebu resumes renal dialysis services after 3-week closure. It's actually for inpatients. Outpatients are still not getting services. We reported this yesterday. This morning, they are picketing at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital to force authorities to open the center to both outpatient and inpatient, you know, patients. So you want to keep your dial on City 97.3 and City Channel One TV.
Yeah. But isn't it rather sad that, I mean, this is about the third time this year that we're hearing that the renal unit has been closed due to lack of consumables. And
I was saying yesterday, I don't know whether it was you I was speaking to or somebody, that why wait for it to get finished before you order and then create a vacuum? Why would you do that? And then look at, and this is not the first we are seeing. Look at the one that they were stuck at the ports for a long time. And it took agitations from CSOs and the media to force government to go and clear medicine for citizens. I mean, let's stop these things.
The Daily Searchlight this morning is asking a question saying, homeless hawkers take over National Theatre. There's a question they are asking.
Teachers, they were at the National Theatre. Fred did a report. I think he missed the homeless people.
Exactly.
Where exactly? Did they tell us where?
It doesn't say, but there's a picture here that suggests that, you know, the car park just before the traffic light, the hawkers actually have these, I don't want to say stalls, but they have these structures they've put there. Some are baskets, the ones that you pull and all. They keep their wares there so that they can hawk at the traffic light. So I think that's what they're referring to. Anyways, teachers of colleges of education call off strike. Cabinet approves gifted and talented education policy. Baumia's idea to eradicate the infrastructure deficit is good, but he cannot be trusted. This is the Educate Africa Institute speaking. Minister gives contractor 6 weeks to complete project. That's it for the Daily Searchlight.
Okay, so let me give you some details from my side. With Public Press, I want to take you through the NDC chairman refusing to commit to Peace Pact and then outlining 6 conditions. So these are the 6 conditions before the NDC will sign the Peace Pact. This is according to its chairman, Asedun Ketia. 1, the president must openly declare his commitment to respecting the outcome of the 2024 elections. 2, the IGP, Chief Justice, National Security Coordinator, and the Attorney General must all sign the pact. 3, the recommendations from the Ayawaso West Wagon by-election violence investigation must be fully implemented. 4, those responsible for violence during the 2020 elections and associated irregularities must be prosecuted. And then 5, an investigation must be conducted into the missing IT equipment from the Electoral Commission's warehouse. So these are the conditions before they will sign. So we'll see whether anything is done about it. Because the Peace Pact there, everybody must sign.
It's really important. And we hope that this time it's coming from the party as a whole, including its flag bearer. Because initially when the chairman made a statement about not signing, we heard the flag bearer, John Mahama, say that, well, they are yet to sit and agree on exactly. So now that they've brought out some conditions, we're hoping that this is actually the position and the stance of the party, including everyone. Anyways, to the education front, I'll take you to page 3 of the Daily Guide. Cabinet approves GATE education policy. Now, it reads, after months of deliberation and consultation with stakeholders, Cabinet has finally approved the long-awaited gifted and talented education GATE policy aimed at providing specialized education programs for students with exceptional academic ability, creativity, or talent. The policy will allow such specialized programs to be offered to learners beyond the standard curriculum which will provide challenging and enriching experiences that foster intellectual, social, and emotional growth. Minister of Education Dr. Yawose Aduchun presented the policy, highlighting its benefits for Ghana's exceptional students. Quote, this policy will provide a platform for our gifted and talented children to reach their full potential, he emphasized.
Okay, I think that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one, because the IQ levels are not the same across board. And so if it's identified at the young age, the beginner stage, that this person has this level of IQ and it's above his mates or colleagues, and there's a specialized program for such a person, I think it goes a long way to help all of us in general. Yeah.
Okay, let me quickly take you through the ECOWAS mission predicting violence at Ghana, our elections. Then you take us to City Newsroom and then ChannelOne. The ECOWAS, Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, deployed to Ghana for a pre-election fact-finding mission to assess the country's state of preparedness ahead of the general elections scheduled for 7 December 2024, has predicted violent polls as a result of a very tense political environment in the country. Now, the ECOWAS mission blamed the tension and potential violence on mistrust of some state institutions, including the Electoral Commission, the judiciary, and the security agencies, particularly the police service, after a meeting with their leaders and management last month. It also said that misinformation, disinformation, and the use of insightful languages that have the potential to trigger violence were flagged as a major security threat. Some leading political figures and candidates were identified as perpetrators of insightful language. In this regard, the mission believes that the media, including social media platforms, constitute a serious threat to a peaceful electoral process as they serve as channels for dissemination. This is serious.
Yeah.
This is serious.
And we all of us should be on the alert. I mean, and then the politicians, we beg of them. At this point, any single thing could trigger the West. And so we should be decorous in how we approach the election. The statements we put out there, even our body language, our demeanor and everything. There should be some level of composure going into the election so we can, well, beat the odds again and come out as one country after the polls. Well, I'll take you online now, ChannelOneNews.com. The leading story here is on election 2024 and 24-hour economy, a senseless policy. This is according to Salam Mustafa, youth organizer of the NPP. GSS, that's the Ghana Statistical Service, is saying that youth population surge demands focus on skills and retirement planning. Sports Ministry clarifies $3.6 million payment to GBC for 13th African Games broadcast. Still on that, African Games, GBC staff were paid 100 Ghana cedis, while foreigners were paid 1,000 Ghana cedis. This is according to Sam George. Free SHS has alleviated financial burden on chiefs. Domiabra Omanhene tells Napo. In some other stories, Kintampo South District, PAC orders prosecution of teacher over payroll irregularities. And there's one from the renal unit of Kolebu saying that we've not recorded 20 deaths over renal unit closure. As the hospital management is speaking. There's the CTAC story there as well. But when you go to citynewsroom.com, we're leading with the Cocoa Board story that says we've learned our lessons. We won't borrow to finance 2024-2025 crop season.
Finally, 15 years going to, you know, out of Ghana to look for money to buy cocoa. Actually, a country called Ghana.
Actually, 32 years.
Oh, see, I was even reducing it for them.
32 years. But you see, sometimes when these things come up, you are in two minds. Is it that we've really learned our lessons and we say we won't borrow anymore? Or we've mismanaged and are no longer credit worthy?
Oh, this shade is too much for me.
Well, the other stories are on citynewsroom.com. CTAG is here saying we are not prepared to work beyond our legally mandated hours. Election 2024, prioritize peace in upcoming polls. Osu Traditional Council to Ghanaians. There's a sports ministry story where they've provided a breakdown of the $3.6 million paid to GBC for the African Games coverage. NDC outlines demands before committing to peace pact. Kolebu resumes renal dialysis services after a 3-week closure. And of course, a host of other stories. And so you want to check it out, citynewsroom.com and of course, ChannelOneNews.com. Well, thank you so much, Vivian.
Thank you, Dana. I'll see you later.
Sure. All right. It's time now for sports here on Breakfast Daily.
All right, welcome back. It's time for us to get into some sports. I'm going to be starting with the 2023 African Games. The director of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, Professor Amin Al-Hassan, yesterday stated that the entity did not receive payments amounting to $3 million in relation to the African Games held in Ghana this year. This statement was in response to claims made by Mustafa Yusuf, the Youth and Sports Minister, when he faced the Public Accounts Committee on Tuesday. Prof. Al-Hassan said that GBC was not involved in the hands-on production of the games and that it received an amount of $105,000 and not $3 million as payment for supervising 3 foreign companies hired for the technical production of the event. Professor Amin Hassan added that local technicians who worked on the production had all been fully paid and there were no outstanding debts. However, the Sports Ministry put out a statement last night detailing an agreement totaling $3.6 million for the coverage of the games. The amount will be used to cover the cost of using third parties for the production of the coverage. The statement also said that GBC was paid $2.5 million, while the remaining $1 million was used to pay the third parties on GBC's instruction.
All right, let's get into the AFCON and the 2025 AFCON qualifiers. National Sports Authority Deputy Director General Abdul Majid Bawa has confirmed that the playing surface of Babayara Sports Stadium will be ready to host Ghana's first group match against Angola in the 2025 AFCON qualifiers on September 5, 2024. Bawa gave this assurance just 16 days before Ghana's opening game in Kumasi, following recent church events held at the venue. The stadium, which is currently the only CAF-approved venue for hosting matches, has faced significant criticism due to the NSA's poor management of the facility. Now, in an exclusive interview with City Sports, Abdul Majid Bawa assured Ghanaians and the various stakeholders that the facility will be ready to host the Black Stars as they begin their 2025 AFCON qualifiers campaign against Angola.
All right, Premier League on City. Manchester City's Phil Foden was named the Professional Footballers Association Player of the Year last night at the Players' Gala in London. Foden was pivotal for Manchester City last season as they clinched a historic 4th straight Premier League title. He scored 19 times, including strikes against Manchester United in the Derby and West Ham on the final day of the season, and he assisted 8 goals in the campaign. The other winner for the Premier League was Chelsea's Cole Palmer, who was named Young Player of the Year. He scored 22 goals and bagged 12 assists in the league of Chelsea after he joined from Manchester City, and they helped the Blues to finish 6th. 11 of last season's best performers were chosen by the PFA to make the team of the year. 5 Arsenal players made the cut, while 4 came from Manchester City, while Liverpool and Aston Villa had a player each in the team.
All right, so that's your sports this morning.